You know, attention is like sunshine. You pay attention to something and guess what? It grows. That's why one of the first things a new trainer learns here is that the more attention you pay to what an animal is doing, right or wrong, it makes no difference. The more that behavior will get repeated. It's like these sea lions. The more we try to quiet them down, the noisier they've gotten. Well, it's the same with people. The key to getting great results is to pay more attention to what's going right rather than what's going wrong. And that's a big part of what I like to call accentuating the positive.
Whenever you're working with a killer whale, the most important thing is to accentuate the positive. In other words, pay attention to everything the animal does that you want. And to do that with the whales, we have to make sure that everything is interesting. In other words, that they don't get bored with you or with the situation. So to do that, we change things up all the time. We're constantly changing what we use as a reinforcer. We also change the routines. Nothing's ever the same. A good example of that is like while we're sitting here right now. You know, the whale could get real bored if I just keep sitting here rubbing his nose in the same way. So I can do different things. I can ask the whale to give his tongue, like this. I can sit here and do vocals. Good. In other words, change things up so the animal has to pay attention to you. In other words, has to follow your direction. When you take an employee and you change things up, you change the reinforcements, you change the routines, you're going to keep it very interesting for the employee. Get on first and just stay down, stay crouched down. Till I tell you to stand up. And then you're going to stand up around the pole. I might tell you to get back down again. At some point, I'm going to tell you to fall off. All right? Okay. Just line her up and get right on. In other words, they are going to know that they're going to get something reinforcing. They're going to know they're going to get something they like for it. They're going to know they're being told they've done a good job. But it's constantly changing. Change is, in itself is very reinforcing, as long as it's positive change.
I think every person is an individual and is special, just like our killer whales. Each one has their own personality. They have their own likes and dislikes. For example, Katina. One of the things that I love doing with her is gently touching her on the side of the face. See that? And she'll roll. And then rubbing her right there. That's one of her favorite spots. So that's unique to Tina. Just like with the trainer, each trainer's a little different. Some enjoy water work. Some enjoy research. Some enjoy just hanging out at the pool. So it's very important to be an effective coach or to be an effective trainer, knowing what's going to get that animal jazzed, knowing what's going to motivate that person.
Each person is different. Each day is different. And I think it's important as a manager or a leader that you find out what those likes and dislikes are and you work accordingly. A lot of times, if you're not reacting to each employee as an individual, that can work against you in your relationship. If you're not taking those things into consideration, you can actually be damaging your relationship and not making that person special. Well, I think fun is an important part of any relationship. You can't have all work. Sometimes you got to sit and interact with the animal. You got to play with them, and you got to let them know that that's a part of their life is having fun too. We're not all work. It's a little bit of learning and a little bit of shows and a whole lot of fun, and that's what makes the learning process a whole lot more efficient. It builds a stronger relationship. It helps your trust. It helps your relationships, and everybody enjoys working with each other. Right, guys?
That's right.
How about you? There you go.
Another part of accentuating the positive is something we've all experienced. Remember when we were learning to walk? When we took a step and then fell down, we didn't hear, "Why can't you walk across the room?" We heard, "That was great. You can do it. Keep it up." In other words, we were being praised for making progress, not just achieving the end results.
It's so important to pay attention to correct behavior as opposed to incorrect behavior, because we're going to do what we practice most. And if the killer whale is getting praised or interrupted for doing the wrong behavior, it's very likely that it's going to keep doing that because it got attention for doing the wrong behavior. It's so critical as a trainer to catch them doing something right, praise them for doing it. Just like in praising progress with your employees, it's so important to praise and affirm people along the way, because if you didn't and you just waited for that behavior to happen, you'd be waiting a long time.
Accentuating the positive isn't about being soft. In fact, it's anything but. It's about being real. It's about paying attention. It's about caring enough to connect and build a real relationship with people. And that means we have to take the time to find out what motivates each individual. We need to treat everyone as individuals with unlimited potential for development and accomplishment. We need to work at keeping things interesting and not fall into a pattern of the same old, same old. And we need to remember how important it is to praise progress, which means catching people doing things right or almost right and giving them a good job, or as I like to think about it, a well done. Accentuating the positive is one of the best ways I can think of to let people know you care about them as people, not just as co-workers or employees, and in the process build the kind of relationships that will motivate them to do the right thing. Kiss, Jay?